DIY Dreaming, and on this video tutorial we're going to make some fun tassels, and I'm going to show you some kind of unique items to use to make tassels. So this is just a little glimpse of where we are going. I'll give you all the details as we're going along. And as you are hopping out and say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Feel free to sprinkle all that good stuff. Okay, so I got some stuff out. I'm going to show you first of all how to do a basic tassel. Then we'll make a tassel using sari strips. These are from Indian saris. I can't even remember where I ordered it from. I've had it for several years. It's cream colored long sari strips. Then we're also going to make a tassel using a luau skirt, and then we're going to talk about lace. So I am using my tassel maker tool from magnoliadiy.com. This makes it so easy, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to decide how big of a tassel do you want. This part right here is 4.5 inches. If you go here, you have 3.5 inches. Here, you have 2.5 inches. And I'm just gonna start and hold on to it and wrap my yarn. Now, I'm using yarn for this. And depending on how fat or not what you're making a tassel out of, kind of depends on how many times you need to go around. So you just do it until you think it looks fat enough. There's no specific. And you're just gonna wrap, over here. Oh no. Do I seriously have a knot? No. I was gonna be upset. This, what I'm using right now is just some real chunky yarn that I think I picked this up a few years ago when I was in a real big crocheting jag at Walmart. Okay, I'm going to say that this is fat enough just for sake of time. I might have gone a little bit longer, done a few more wraps, but I don't want to waste all my time here with you watching me wrap. Okay, let's just cut a piece. I don't know where the start or the end is for this. And these are all just approximate lengths too. Okay, you're gonna need a piece that's gonna go right up here at the top. You're gonna squoosh this down just a little bit, and you see that space right there? That is to help you get this in. It's gonna go in between the two layers and up to the top. And it's gonna be the very top of your tassel. So I just scooched it up here, and I'm going to tie it as tight as I can. If I remember right, this yarn is not very strong. Okay, this is going to be the top of my tassel, and then you can tie the loop around your belly of your tassel, going through this little space right here. This gadget looks complicated to use, but once you've made 1 or 2 tassels, you can make tassels while you're watching TV and not even pay attention. It's super nice. Okay, so I'm going to pull it off. We're just going to squinch it down and up. And here's the top of our tassel, and here's the belly. So these long strands, you're going to want to wrap them around, and go 2 different ways, which is always a challenge for me to figure out which way. Okay, I've got tangles happening here. Get out of there. Okay, let's say that's plenty. And then I'm just going to tie a knot. And if you want, here's a trick. Have you guys ever seen these? Do you know what they are? These are flossing tools for people who have partials or braces or that kind of thing. When I first got some of these, somebody sent them to me. I wish I could remember. It was like 4 years ago. And I thought they were a crafting tool. They really do help with threading things, beading things. So I'm going to take this little, the brand is Gum. I'm going to put it on my well, I'm not going to do that. That's a hassle. We'll do it on the top. So I've tied a knot, and then I'm going to cut this off short. And then I'm going to trim all these loops. And you're still going to have some long pieces. So I'm just going to trim this off, and then I'm going to show you this little tool here with beads, wood beads. So I'm going to put both pieces that were tied around the top of my tassel through this little loop. And try to. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see. So stay with me because I have some unusual things, and I want to tell you a little bit more about this Sari strips and the Luau skirt. Okay, so I just have this here, and then I'm going to grab some wood beads. It could be absolutely whatever you have, whatever you like. I get a ton of wood beads. Let's do square and around. I get a ton of wood beads like at Dollar Tree, at Hobby Lobby. Sometimes they'll have them on sale. Just everywhere you can find them. This fluffy yarn would be impossible to thread a bead on. But see how easy that was? And then I'm just going to tie a knot here. And I'm going to tie another knot up here at the top. I am making these, if you can even believe it, for my Christmas tree. I am 99% sure that I'm going to do a coastal theme with cream and light blue. And so what I'm doing today is I am embellishing some of these cream-ish tassels using either some of my totally dazzling pieces. These are part of a set that is, let's see, beach. And it has some really cute things in it. Like this. Seahorse. There's shells, there's a turtle, there's a mermaid, there's a fish. So lots of good things. Let's just grab, I'm going to do this starfish on here. And I'm just going to glue it over the spot where we tied the knot. Ooh, they also have this pretty set. And they have my bling pack. So let me know if you're interested. This one is antique bronze, butterflies and trends. And there's a ton of really pretty pieces in there. Okay, so I'm just going to put a blob of hot glue on my fluffy yarn tassel. And I poked this little totally dazzled piece into it, and there you go. So that is how you would make a tassel if you were using yarn. And this yarn is really fluffy, so it would take less times around the tummy. This yarn, for example, is really thin, so you can see it would be at least double the amount of yarn to get a big fat tassel, which is what you want. You want your tassels to be full. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is how to use sari strips to make a tassel. And like I said a few minutes ago, I ordered this. I don't even remember for sure. It's been several years. And I'm going to look to see if it possibly was from Amazon. I can't remember. It was either Amazon or Etsy. Anyways, it's beautiful. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a long tassel. Oh, and this is sewn together every, I don't know, 24 inches. But I think that gives it some charm. So I'm just going to get started and wrap. No, I don't want to knot. These sari strips, and it's not S-O-R-R-Y, I think it's S-A-R-I. Anyways, they are silk, and you know how silk can get kind of stringy. It just can. We can trim all of that off if we want. Okay, I'm going to say that that is good, and I always leave my two tails a little bit longer, and then I'm going to cut a piece that will go on the top. I was kind of excited to get this out today because I have not used it in any crafts in a very long time. Okay, so this is probably 24 inches roughly. Okay, you're going to scooch it through this place right here, and it's going to go up in the very middle, and you're going to pull it up to the top, and this is going to become the top of this tassel. So I'm going to tie it as tight as I can. Okay, and then I'm going to get a piece to go around the tummy. Cut off some of this silk fuzz. And I'm going to just tie this around the tummy before I slide it off of my tassel maker tool. This one's going around the full thing, not just up and inside. Let's come a little bit further down. So here it is. I'm going to slide it off the tassel maker tool, pull this up to the real top. Okay, so that's what's going to hold it. And then I'm going to wind my tummy piece. Let's go the opposite direction. And once I get around, let's just tie a knot. And then I'm going to cut these pieces off. I hope you guys can see okay. You know, there are so many fun things that you can create tassels out of besides just yarn or twine. What is going on here? Oh, I didn't get this piece. Well, it didn't get included in the wrap around the tummy, so I'm going to cut it off. Okay, and then I'm going to trim all my loops at the bottom. Can you guys see how seriously easy this is? Did I get them all? I think I did. Let's see, do I have any super long ones that need to be trimmed? Just this one, really. I can come back and give this a nice haircut later. Let's get some of this mess off here. Okay, and I am not going to do any beads on this one, but I'm going to do a beach piece of bling. So I'm going to tie a knot. These can be put with a long line of beads. You can hang them on a counter. They're pretty on a package. There are so many things that you can do with tassels. And I know someone will ask me today, what are they for? What are tassels for? Tassels are for fun. They're just a decorative piece. They have no real useful function except to make you smile. So that's what tassels are for. And they're so easy to make, especially if you have this awesome gadget. Okay, so this is another piece of the bling from Totally Dazzled. I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. Here we go. Totally Dazzled. All right, and I'm going to glue this little seahorse on this. And these are gonna all look pretty on my Christmas tree, which I'm doing a coastal theme. If you have some of your grandmother's brooches or old broken earrings, the clip earrings, you could use those too. Isn't that cute? Okay, so these were my saris that I made. This one right here has a turtle on it. This one right here has a big starfish blinged out. And this one right here has this little guy, this little seahorse. Okay, so that was the sari stuff. One that I want to mention, but we're not going to do today, is you can tear strips of fabric and wrap that around the tassel maker tool. These are just strips of canvas ticking, and then I use some yarn to tie the top, and then I glued a little piece of white ribbon around the tummy. So I just wanted to mention that. And this little guy right here is from at Dollar Tree. They have these little wood bead things that have some little wood cutouts on them from summer. So it looked like this. And I just glued that on there so it will go along with my theme. Okay, next I want to show you this one. This, you guys, is this. Can you even believe it? This is a Dollar Tree luau skirt. If, go to your local Dollar Tree and take a peek. If they still have these, grab some, because over the winter and into early spring, they don't have them out. But these are a great crafting essential. Okay, so this is what they look like when you open that package. The pieces are all threaded on here. Let's come back up taller again. and it's on a piece of string. Okay, so if you cut the end, you can slide these off. They just have a little loop. And I don't know how fat you would want your tassel with the luau skirt to be, but we're going to make ours, whoops, with this much, okay? And I'm going to keep those loops on there until I am finished. All right, so same deal. I'm going to wrap this around my luau, around my tassel maker tool, and then just, this is kind of cheating because you're wrapping so many pieces all at once. And I need to scoot it down a little bit so I can get the whole thing on here. Okay, I am going to use a piece of yarn for this. To do the top and to do the first go around the tummy. So, I don't want this to shift around too much. I'm going to find this little spot here where I can thread my piece of yarn through it. Okay, come on back over here. I really have this under control, even if it looks like I'm wrestling with a bear. Okay, and I'm going to tie a good knot on the top. And then I'm going to use this other piece of yarn to go around the tummy. Let's keep this top separate. Okay, so I'm going to thread this through these little holes. I hope you guys are seeing really how super easy this is, and getting some ideas for not traditional things that you can use to make tassels. Oops, I have the wrong piece of string. Okay, so let's slide it off. I may have lost a few of the loops at the bottom, but that is okay. And then I'm just going to tighten up this top a little bit. It would be easier, although it would take a little bit longer to wrap these pieces one at a time instead of being lazy like I was and doing it all at once. Okay, so I want this tummy to be wrapped with a piece. I mean, it could be something like this. This is just a little scrap that I have hanging out. So let's cut our yarn. There. And just put a little glue here. This is just some muslin fabric that I tore for another project. And you guys, I never throw anything away. I really don't. Because you never know when you're going to be making a tassel out of a luau skirt and need something to tie around the tummy. You just never know that. This one I'm just going to glue. Okay, so let's do some trimming. These really short pieces right here, I'm just going to cut those off. This one, it can be a little hard to tell what you have trimmed already or not. Okay, so it looks super messy on the bottom, so I'm just going to chop a good chunk of that off. Much nicer. Okay, and then let's do some beads at the very top using my favorite little flosser. And can you see how I'm doing that? I'm just threading this through my little flosser. And that's what I will pull through the holes in my beads. Okay, so let's do 2 little beads. Whoops, I did not want to be used here. One, 2, and then where did I drop my big one? Here it is. These flossers, these gum brand flossers, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can get these pretty much at any store that has things like toothpaste, toothbrushes, flossing stuff, and it'll be with all that stuff. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do here. Take that off, tie a knot. And these tassels cost me almost nothing because I already had all the stuff. And so let's do, let me see if I can find another wood element. Here's one. Let's glue this on there. Oopsie. Tie a knot up here at the top. Okay, so here is what I have. This is what I made using those Dollar Tree luau skirts. What do you think? Aren't those cool? And, you know, you don't have to do this part, but for me, it's going to be perfect because I'm going to do a coastal themed tree. Okay, let's do one more and then we'll be finished. This is a whole bunch of lace that I picked up at Goodwill when I was in Oregon. I think it was Goodwill. Anyways, I got a huge bag of all different kinds of lace for $10. And I almost didn't take it home with me. I was almost like, that's too much. But then when I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, there's at least $50 worth of lace in here. So you're going to do the same thing. And I'm just going to wrap, wrap, wrap. Okay, I'm going to hold it this way so I'm not fighting that. And we'll say that that's good because I have a knot happening. Okay, and then I'm going to use a little piece of yarn to do this one also, to get up and tie the top, and then to go around the tummy, and then we'll figure out something to go over it. And we'll do this one we'll do this one bling. This is just going to hold our tassel together at the very top. Okay, and then I'm going to squinch this down so I can get in between here, so I can tie a piece of this yarn around the tummy, and then we'll cover it with something. Whoever thought this gadget up was really smart. I know I've seen other people use something similar. I had something that was kind of similar once that was just made out of cardboard. But having this spot right here to be able to get into the tummy is brilliant. Okay, so this is the top, and here's the tummy, and let's squinch it off. I'm going to adjust a little bit because okay, and I have some of this. Yeah, that'll work. It is just a little, I don't know what that even is. Little piece of ribbon. And I'm just going to go around this a couple times and then glue it down. So I love jute or twine tassels, but heck, you can make some beautiful tassels out of all kinds of other things, like lace, like sari strips, like strips of fabric, Dollar Tree luau skirts. Oh, I forgot to cut this thing off the tummy. Okay, and I'm going to cut my strips, my loops down here. And then we'll trim it up. We'll do a little piece of bling. This tummy ended up a little bit lower than what I would have liked it to be. All right, and I'm going to skip the top because I want to just have the bling on it and not bling and wood beads. And let's do, this is a pretty one right here. Does this work? Yes, it would. Okay. So Totally Dazzled has all kinds of little groupings of things. This one is birds and it's butterflies and birds, or butterflies and bees. Then there's one that is just Christian shapes. Then there is one that has snowflakes. And you can pick, mine are all in antique bronze because that's the metal I prefer. But they all come in a bunch of different silver, gold, rose gold. So these are going to look pretty on my tree. And they would be pretty on a package that you wrapped with brown craft paper. So there's that one. This is like a shell, some bling, and a pearl, and a starfish. And then this one I did more casual, but they're all going to be on the same tree. So that was made just using some lace. I could do it with some of this lace. So let me review. And then if you would like my supply list, just say supplies and I'll be glad to get it for you. I'm going to tell you what this is called. And I'll try also to get the number in case you can't get it in your store, but you could possibly order it. So I'll include everything. Okay, these are the ones that we made using the luau skirt. And I'm going to look to see where I got this sari. These are the ones, uh-oh, I didn't have that glued on there very well. Let's fix it. These are the sari tassels that I made with the strips of sari that I had hanging out in my craft stash here for a while. I'll get good pictures. This is just one with yarn, and these are the lace puppies, and this was with strips of ticking fabric and yarn. So tell me what you guys thought. Do it this or this. This is better though. Do it this. Let me know if you have questions. Selena, I will get you the supply list. I got it all ready before I came live. I do need to take this out and get this number for you. I'm going to say that the wood beads are mostly from Dollar Tree. Yeah, so just let me know if you would like the supply list or if you have questions. Do with this. Feel free to sprinkle also. If you have friends that like to do kind of unusual crafts, which is what I like. I was just thinking, what could I use to make tassels out of? And I betcha if I had spent another 20 minutes and dug in the little baskets right at the front of my craft desk, I could have found 10 more things. So just be thinking long and skinny, and that will work. Linda, I'll get you the supply list. So give me 5 minutes. If you're watching on replay and you want the supply list, just tell me supply list and I'll get it for you too. So what do you use them for? Anna Salinas asked the question that I told you at the beginning. What are these for? What do they do? They do nothing. They do absolutely nothing, except they're pretty. You can hang them like on a cabinet. Twirl you around this way. I personally am going to put these on my Christmas tree this year. You can attach them to a package. If you have like one of those cabinets that have the 2 doors that open, these look pretty. You can put them on a garland. There are just a ton of different things that you can do with these. And I think adding a little bit of bling to them really jazzes them up. They're going to be super pretty on my tree. So thank you for asking the question. Sandy, I'll get you the supply list. Bonnie, I will get you one too. So many uses. Okay, Sherry said there's so many uses. I mean, they don't serve a purpose except to make you smile and to look pretty. And a lot of things that we make in crafting are exactly like that. Although I do try to do lots of crafts that are going to be usable, you know, that serve a purpose other than just to be pretty. Oh, Pam says she loves my crafts. I make the prettiest little things. Thank you. Where did I get the bling? I got my bling from Totally Dazzled. And you guys, about 3 weeks ago, they launched my bling pack. It has 2 crosses and a bunch of smaller type pieces of bling that look like vintage buttons. So I'll give you a link to this, and then I'll give you a link to my Totally Dazzled website, and you can look at all the different packages that they have. Anyways, I was excited to work with them. I'm hoping that this winter that we can do it again, and that they'll pick out some new pieces and do a new bling pack. But this was awesome. And this is what my small pieces look like. They remind me of vintage buttons. A lot of them have little pearls, and then there's some crosses. There's a big cross. I don't have it out right now. Everything else out right now. Anyways, I'm not a super huge blingy person, but I love this bling. Okie dokie. Well, thanks for joining me. Oh my goodness, and thank you so much to everyone who did stars. Wow, I really appreciate that. I hope that you guys have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to go sit down in my comfy chair. I think I'm going to get a cup of coffee. And I'm going to get busy answering your questions and getting supply lists out to you. And I will see you guys later.